now create a new asset in the asset inventory table by going into the maintenance section and clicking on asset inventory. Now we have to assign an asset number to the product. Let's say we assign it asset number 100 and we call it a milling machine. Now here we have an indicator as to whether this asset is equipment or a motor vehicle. If we did click on motor vehicle here, then the system would ask for a starting odometer reading. The last odometer reading would be generated by the system when preventive maintenance is done on this product. So as this is not a motor vehicle, we'll click that off. Next we'll enter the department for which this asset was purchased. And here are a list of those departments. Let's say it's for quality control. Next would be a cost center if we want to attribute this asset to a cost center, and we'll select from that. Let's say warehouse and plant is the cost center. Next we have to assign an asset type. And from the list of values of asset types, in this case there's only one in the system, which happens to be furniture. There could be a number of asset types assigned. Next will be the depreciation class, and the depreciation class will have the method of depreciation. In this case it would be straight line. 100 class has a straight line depreciation method, so we'll select that one. The depreciation expense account is automatically defaulted, but a particular depreciation expense account can be entered for this product alone if this machine happens to be important enough to keep depreciation for it separately. We would enter an account number for any maintenance expenses that are attributed to this asset whenever maintenance is done. And if we'll choose the department, let's say the department is Laboratory Toronto. This is the GL number we are entering now. This warns you that it has to be a control account that's entered here. Next we go to the value of the purchase. Let's say this asset was purchased for $125,000. And it sets the current book value at $125,000 as well. Now we might assign a expected salvage value at the end of its effective life, and let's say that's only $3,000. Now we can assign the life expectancy in periods for that asset. Defaults to 100, but it could be 5 years, say, which would make it 60 periods. Now we can also assign this to this equipment a life expectancy in terms of the number of units that it produces, and that could be, say, 100,000 units. The rest of this information is provided by the system, which is generated when depreciation is calculated. Down here we get the actual depreciation rate in terms of the amount, and this tells us it's dollars per period is the depreciation rate. Then generated by the system every time a depreciation is run, we get the year and period for which the depreciation has been calculated. In terms of additional asset information, we click on this button and we can enter additional information. For instance, the date it was purchased, let's say 1st of February 01. Now we can say which vendor we purchased it from. Let's say it's Canon. Who the manufacturer might be. Again, we purchased this from Canon as well. Might say how much warranty there is. There's a 12-month warranty period. We can enter the serial number. Now we can also tell the system which building that the product may be located in. Let's say it's building A1 if it's a multi-building environment. We might tell it which room it's in, say room 1201 in that building. Now we also have information here that is specific in terms of information. It's only information purposes, but it's related to any funding that might have been provided or a grant provided for this particular product. In most cases there wouldn't be such a thing. And again, the next field is a code for any tax credits that might have been applied for this product. Again, most of the time there would not be such a thing. Here the system will generate the last repair date once repairs are done on this particular product, and the system would also generate the last preventive maintenance date whenever preventive maintenance is done on this particular machine. So we've entered additional asset information. Here we can enter adjustments if they occur to this particular product. Any capitalizations, adjustments that were capital in nature can be entered here. We can enter, when we sell the product, the actual salvage value as compared to this expected salvage value that we entered. And then we can, the information about the depreciation units and depreciation value will appear in these fields. Under accumulated amounts, we will get the total depreciation, both year to date and accumulated total. And that will be generated automatically by the system. And that concludes our entry of a new asset in inventory maintenance.